You've felt it, haven't you? That strange silence between you and him. Like something unspoken is tightening the threads around your heart. But what if I told you, he feels it too? The angels say, he wants to believe in this love. But his soul is caught in a quiet war. Some nights, he stares at the ceiling, whispering to no one, why her? Why now? He doesn't understand why his heart races at the mention of your name, why your smile feels like both home and a storm at once. He tries to shut it down. He tells himself that this can't be real, that he's too late, too hurt, too uncertain. But the angels see everything, and they show me this: his resistance isn't about you. It's about the struggle between the life he planned and the life his heart longs to choose. In moments of stillness, he recalls the look in your eyes, the way you never asked him to be anyone but himself. And that scares him more than rejection, because you've already seen his soul, and yet you stayed. The angels whisper, he keeps his distance not because he doesn't feel, but because what he feels dismantles every wall he ever built. This is not a disconnect. This is sacred hesitation. A man who senses the divine in your presence, but still clings to the familiar ache of his past. He wants to believe, but belief means surrender, and surrender requires trust. Tonight, the angels gather around your heart to tell you, this is not the end. This is the beginning of a spiritual unfolding. Because what you carry is not just love, it's remembrance. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. There's a reason you can't stop thinking about him. And no, it's not obsession, or fantasy, or loneliness. It's memory. But not from this life. The angels reveal, his soul remembers you. Even while his mind forgets, denies, and tries to explain it away. You are the echo of a promise made before time existed. And every time your presence brushes against him, there's a spark he doesn't understand but can't ignore. He tells himself he's not ready, that the timing is wrong. But his heart tightens when you smile, as if it's reconnecting with something once lost. He thinks of you in those quiet moments, when no one is watching. When he's driving, when he's brushing his teeth, when the world quiets down and his barriers fall. That's when your name slips in, uninvited but undeniable. The angels say, you've awakened an ancient love inside him. And now, no other presence feels complete. He compares, even without meaning to. No touch feels as safe. No conversation feels as vibrant. No silence feels as rich as the one he shares with you. And yet, he pulls back. Because remembering you also means remembering parts of himself he's tried to suppress. You came into his life like a mirror he didn't ask for, but desperately needed. He wants to forget you, but his soul won't allow it. Because some connections are not meant to be erased. They are meant to awaken, to return, to complete what was once interrupted. The angels remind you now, this isn't confusion. It's recognition. You've asked yourself in the quiet, if he feels something, why does he disappear? The angels hear this question rise from your heart. And they answer with something deeper than logic, because intensity terrifies those who aren't ready. He pulls away when the feelings become overwhelming. When your energy touches the parts of him that haven't healed. He disappears not because you're too much, but because in you, he saw everything he secretly desired, and never believed he deserved. The angels show me this. He retreats in waves. He gets close, then vanishes. He feels your soul, then fears the exposure. Every word you say lingers with him. But presence? Presence demands honesty. And that shakes his foundation. You were the first to touch his soul without even trying. And that broke something open, something he's not sure how to handle. So he builds distance, hoping it will numb the longing. But instead, it multiplies. He checks your profile. He replays your voice. He tells himself he's moved on. But he can't explain the ache. The angels say, He withdraws because the light in you exposes the shadows in him. And he's not ready to stand in full illumination. Don't mistake his silence for apathy. It is the noise of a soul wrestling with what it feels, but cannot yet hold. And you? You were never invisible. You were unforgettable. There's something about you he can't name, but it unsettles him, in the most sacred way. The angels reveal, when he looks at you, he doesn't just see a woman. He sees the version of himself he forgot. You are not a reflection of who he is now. You are a mirror of who he could become if he dared to heal. Your presence reminds him of every piece he buried, the tenderness he masked, the vulnerability he mocked, the dreams he shelved out of fear. You see through him. That's what unnerves him the most. You see the truth he hides from everyone else, and you never flinched. The angels whisper, she didn't try to fix you. She saw you, and loved you anyway. And that is what both awakens and terrifies him. Because to be truly seen is to be truly known. And to be known is to risk rejection from the core. In your eyes, he found home. But in that same gaze, he also met the man he's not sure he knows how to be yet. He pulls back not because he wants to lose you, but because being near you means losing every excuse he's ever made to stay small. The angels want you to understand, your light is a mirror, not a weapon. It reveals, it invites, but it cannot force. You didn't break him. You broke the illusion. And now, he must choose whether to see or to keep pretending he's blind. It started quietly. A dream, a memory, a moment that echoed louder than the world around him. And just like that, he knew, you were not just someone. You were the one his soul had been searching for without understanding what it longed for. The angels say, he asked for a sign. And heaven sent you. He didn't expect the answer to come wrapped in softness, in silence, in the way your presence made him feel seen and unguarded at once. But that's how awakening begins, not with thunder, but with the unbearable beauty of truth. Now he's restless. He can't sleep the same. Your name lingers in his thoughts like a prayer he didn't know he was repeating. And here's what the angels are showing now, he's not just feeling you. He's being led. Led into the corners of himself where he buried innocence, hope, and the belief that he could be loved exactly as he is. And this sign, this divine interruption, is not going away. You are the coal. He is the echo. And God is the space between. The heavens are no longer whispering. They are roaring inside him. And soon, he will no longer be able to ignore what he knows to be true. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. He's tried to forget, to replace, to convince himself it was never real. But nothing fits. Not the silence. Not the smiles with someone else. Not the busy days or full nights. The angels whisper, he walks away. But his soul stays curled up beside you. He may have deleted your number, but he checks for your name in places he shouldn't. He may act like he's fine, but a song, a scent, a date on the calendar pulls him right back into your memory. Because what you had wasn't casual. It was coded. It wasn't just chemistry. It was divine collision. And no matter how far he goes, some part of him remains tethered. He tries to drown you in distractions, but your voice floats up through the surface. And every time he meets someone new, a piece of him scans the room for the soul he once touched, yours. The angels say, every goodbye he offers is incomplete. Because even he doesn't believe it. There's a connection between you that time and silence can't break. He feels it most when he's alone, when everything he tried to forget starts whispering again. It's not obsession. It's unfinished purpose. And no matter how he runs, the map always circles back to you. You were not a detour. You were the road. There was a moment, maybe you didn't see it. Or maybe you felt it, in the way his breath caught between words, in the way his eyes softened before retreating again. The angels reveal, he almost told you. He came close to tearing down every wall. But the words trembled at the edge of his tongue. Too sacred, too dangerous, too full of feeling for a man who spent years pretending not to need anyone. He almost said, "I miss you when I'm not supposed to. I think about what we could be. I'm scared of what you make me feel." Instead, he smiled, changed the subject, laughed at the wrong time. But inside he was shaking. Because in that moment he wasn't just a man, he was a boy again, standing at the edge of something holy, aching to jump, terrified to fall. You saw it, didn't you? The flicker of truth before it was hidden. The apology his soul whispered that his mouth couldn't express. The angel's whisper, he wanted to choose love. But fear still sat louder in the room. It's not that he didn't feel. It's that the feeling cracked something open he didn't know how to hold. And that night, he lay awake, cursing the silence and the courage he couldn't reach. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. You've questioned the silence, the delays, the moments that felt like endings. But the angels need you to know, nothing has been wasted. Nothing is off course. Even the silence has been sacred. Behind what you cannot see, they are weaving, rearranging, softening the hardened places in both of you. They've stood beside him during the nights when he couldn't sleep. They've whispered your name into the corners of his heart that he thought no longer felt. This is not a waiting period. It's a preparation. You are not forgotten. You are being aligned. The angels say, every detour has brought him closer to surrender. Every delay has forged the depth of what will come. He may seem distant, indifferent, distracted. But inside, his soul is stirring. Because what you carry is not just love, it's light. And no soul called to awaken can stay asleep forever. The timing is divine. The movement is invisible. The outcome is certain. You are being guided. He is being guided. And the love between you is not lost, only in transit. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. He stands at a threshold now. One step forward leads to truth. One step back leads to the comfort of numbness. And every night, he feels the pull. Of you. Of the unknown. Of the terrifying possibility that this is real. The angels whisper, he loves you more than he knows how to admit. But fear is a voice he's listened to for too long. He thinks too much. What if he's not enough? What if he loses himself? What if he loses you anyway? He plays scenarios in his mind that never happen. Argues with ghosts. Tries to outrun the gravity of your love. But the truth is, he's already chosen you in silence 100 times. In thoughts he can't escape. In dreams that echo your name. He just hasn't told you yet. Because choosing love means releasing control. And control has been his safety net for years. The angels are standing beside him now. Not pushing. Just waiting. Because love isn't forced. It's answered. And you? You don't need to chase what already belongs to your soul. You only need to trust that what's meant for you is being led to you by divine design. He is closer than you think. He is slowly breaking open, like dawn after too many nights. Let him come into the light. On his own knees. By his own choice. There will come a moment, not marked by fireworks or grand declarations, but by stillness. A moment when he finally exhales the war he's been carrying in his chest. And in that breath, he'll remember how safe he felt near you. How full the silence was when you didn't need to say a word. How your love never demanded, only welcomed. The angels say, he will return not with explanations, but with surrender. Not because he figured everything out, but because he finally stopped trying to. There's a holiness in that kind of surrender. It doesn't come from pressure. It comes from clarity. And love, pure, steady love, is the only force strong enough to soften a man's defenses without ever touching them. He will look at you one day with eyes that say, "I tried to forget you, but you're in every part of me." He will come back not because he has to, but because every road without you felt empty. The angels will guide his steps. But your light, your love, that was always the compass. And in that moment, when he chooses stillness over fear, truth over pride, you over protection, you'll know. It was never about waiting. It was always about becoming. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. 1 Corinthians 13 verses 7 to 8.